Philadelphia Sixers select VJ Edgecombe out of Baylor with the number 3 overall pick. I'm joined by Dion. We are reacting live right now. What are your takeaways from this pick? How do you like the fit? What might Valdez Edgecombe Jr. do alongside guys like Jared McKay, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey?
Yeah, I guess. That's my reaction to the pick, I guess. I understand what happened with Ace is like crazy for teams to comprehend. VJ struggled at Baylor. I wasn't a big fan of his game at Baylor. I thought he had a lot of issues. Also, like when I look at the roster, Maxey, McCain, PG, Quentin Grimes too. Like, let's not forget the way Quentin Grimes played down the stretch. I do think that was an anomaly, though. Don't get me wrong, but like the way Quentin Grimes played the last like month and a half of the season, where does VJ fit in? I have no idea. What does VJ do on this team? I have no idea. I don't know that he's better than any of these guys. He's the third overall pick. I would like to think he's better than Jared McCain, who went kind of later in the lotto. But I mean, Jared McCain never gets hurt. He runs away with the Rookie of the Year. So it's really tough to say. I like a lot of the potential that is with VJ Edgecombe. I don't think we've seen it though, and because we haven't seen it, it's really hard for me to buy into it. I'm watching G and Cart right now with Wasserman. Wasserman just said his player comparison for VJ was Victor Oladipo. I love that. I think those are two very similar games. If I'm a Sixers fan, I hate that. I hate that. I don't think you want to draft Victor Oladipo at pick number three.
Oh man, that was my comp for him too when he did the video. I'm actually a big believer in Edgecombe. You bring up some good points where it's like in theory he should be better than Jared McCain, just given the I would even say the pedigree. I know McCain was a highly touted recruit in his own right, but Edgecombe was supposed to be like challenging Flag and Harper to be in the upper echelon of prospects. And granted, you don't want to turn your nose at him going number 3 overall, but I think it's safe to say like no one viewed him anywhere close to those other two levels. But I think the defensive flashes to me are what will get him on the court early. He just has like some of the tools, the instincts that he has. You either got him or you don't at this point in your career. And I was always so impressed by just like his willingness to take on the other team's toughest assignment. I think his quickness, his length, the way that he can create turnovers is really valuable. And if the offense comes along, you're looking at like a Oladipo type player. And even beyond that, though, like I think he got to the free throw rate a ton, had 33 dunks this past season, third most in the country for any player 6'5" or shorter. I think that's significant as well. Like that athleticism translated, I think, better than people realize because, after those clips from playing with the Bahamian national team, his hype was like at an all-time high and he never quite reached those heights, but he was still really good for the second half of the season. I thought he was pretty clearly Baylor's best player, and I know they weren't up to like their typical standards, but still, I just think he feels pretty safe to me, to be honest with you, just because of what he can bring defensively and even the athleticism.
Whoa, safe?
I think he's safe, dude.
To me, safe is Con Knipple.
See, Khan is, man. I was a Khan guy until I realized he's probably going to go number 4, which to me, that's how you feel about VJ, where I'm like, I don't want Victor Oladipo at number 3. I don't want like a potential Desmond Bain at number 4 when there's higher upside guards available.
Respectfully, Bane clears.
I'm saying that like Khan can nipple best case scenario is Desmond Bain.
I'm saying if your best case scenario for VJ is Oladipo, Bane clears.
What kind of, I mean, if we're getting prime Victor Oladipo, you wouldn't take him over Desmond Bain, like Oladipo before the injuries?
Bane clears.
I
Bane
mean,
clears. We're
maybe.
talking about a near 40% three-point shooter. In today's NBA, Bane clears to me. I think it's similar players. I think it's similar players, but Bane clears.
I guess that's a fair take. I just like buy the defensive upside with VJ so much and think he showed a lot on a team where like there was no other positive defenders around him. And he like what he was asked to do defensively to handle it well as a freshman and to be, I mean, he was eighth in the Big 12 in steal rate. And you go back to that Duke game, like the only time that Con Nipple faced any resistance in the NCAA tournament against the Bears was when VJ Edgecombe was guarding him. Like I think that means something. I don't know. I'm pretty high on him and him hitting his ceiling, even though I understand the risks to where after a full year, it still didn't necessarily look like he knew who he was as a player, or that even Scott Drew figured out how to optimize him. He wasn't necessarily the lead guard that I was hoping he'd be. He was much more of a complementary piece on the offensive end.
I was in on everything you said until you said Scott Drew didn't optimize him. This number three overall pick, you optimize yourself in college, man. Like respectfully, like you went from playing against, and I love my West Virginia Mountaineers. You went from playing against Javon Small twice a year to playing against dudes that get Javon Small cut nightly,
Yeah, that's a good
nightly.
point. It's a good
You
point.
have to go get yours. You have to go get yours, and I think that's my issue. Is I don't feel like he went to go get his.
Okay, I like that angle better. You capture what I was trying to say. I don't know if you how much you put on VJ versus Scott Drew. That was like, even though I thought VJ, I still stand by him playing like Baylor's best player down the stretch of the season. It still felt like he wasn't trying to go and get his and be aggressive as you want him to be. Nonetheless, good pick for the Sixers. Should fit into that guard room. Should carve out a role early on, in my opinion. We'll be back breaking down his game, every other player's fit, their strengths, their weaknesses tonight during the first round of the NBA draft.